Okay, the Black Ops 6 beta officially ended a few days ago, and I wanted to kind of go over some stuff that I thought that was good in the beta and also kind of bad. Now, by no means is what I'm about to say gospel. It is purely just my opinion on playing the beta on both weekends, having pre-ordered the game. So, let's just get straight into it. I got two categories, the good stuff and the bad stuff. First of all, on the good stuff, I think it's worth mentioning the variation of maps. Skyline was really good, Derelict I really enjoyed, Pit and Gala also really fun maps, but then I guess you also had the bad maps, right? Not many people enjoyed Rewind or Scud, but that's kind of up to personal choice. I didn't mind them, but it was definitely a variety of maps straight away in the beta. And we're supposed to be getting even more when the game fully releases. Already in the beta, we had small maps, big maps, 3-lane maps, open maps. It was a good selection. Next would be the maps themselves. The maps were designed pretty well. I mean, I'm just a player, not a developer, but I enjoyed how most of the maps played. Yes, some of the bigger maps were certainly slower and kind of awkward to play through, but the smaller maps did exactly what a small Call of Duty map should do. Even the medium-sized maps were fun, action-packed, there was never anything not going on. I feel all the maps allowed for all the playstyles as well, so snipers, people running around with a shotgun or a pistol, guys running around with SMGs, it was catering to everybody. Next would be the gunplay. Although some weapons were definitely better than others, gunplay across the board was pretty good. I used pretty much every weapon and I didn't really feel that I was suffering because of it. You could quite comfortably use a shotgun, an AR, an SMG, sniper, anything like that, and it was 9 times out of 10 pretty good unless you faced a mega sweat. On the plus side, it didn't take forever to kill someone, which is good for fast-paced gameplay, which I think a lot of Treyarch fans enjoy. My next point are the snipers. Now, me being preferably a sniper rather than playing with any other weapon, snipers were actually pretty good in this beta. They were competitive, I could scope in and quick scope quite well. It wasn't completely slow and unusable, and snipers pretty much one shot from like the waist up, I'm pretty sure. If not that, definitely the chest up. So for the sniping community, it's looking pretty good. Granted, we did only get to use one bolt action sniper, so I guess we'll see what they come out with at full launch. Another thing on the good list would be the new features like the human shield and the sleeper agent field upgrade. These two things, brand new to Call of Duty, and they were so cool. Being able to grab someone from the enemy team, talk to them in voice chat, and hold them and walk towards the enemy and shoot them as well. Amazing. Amazing idea. And that's not even to mention the sleeper agent field upgrade. Oh my gosh. When this came out in the second weekend, bro, it was sick. Being able to go undercover and no one really knows what team you're on. You'd have your teammates confused, you'd have the other team confused, you'd be able to just walk into rooms full of the enemy and they would not catch on unless they previously knew. It created for some really fun scenarios and situations in the game, which I haven't seen in COD in a long time. Next, the graphics. The graphics, I'm playing on PC on high, I believe, or very high settings, and to be honest, it looked really good. That's about all I can say. I can't really say anything about the PS5 version or the Xbox version, although I've heard it's okay. I don't know, comment down below, but on PC, it was definitely really good, really nice looking, ran smoothly, looked amazing. Okay, moving on to the next point is the winner's circle. Now, this was in Black Ops 3, I believe, where the top 3 players are shown at the end of the match. I'm so happy this is back because it creates such funny endings to the match. It's not just you get a black screen, you go back to the menu. You got the top 3 from whatever winning team it was, and they get to emote and do stupid shit, and it was just hilarious. Spamming the shush emote, so funny, so toxic, I love it. My penultimate point would be the perks and the specialty bonus. Now, I'm saying this because the specialty bonuses on the perks were really good. If you had 3 of the same perks from the same perk category, like red, green, blue, you would get the perk specialty bonus, and that, in most cases, was really good and really useful. Having specialty bonuses in the perk categories helps players choose on a playstyle, if that makes sense. It really means you can kind of go fully into one perk category, or you can kind of disperse across the few and not have the specialty bonus. Overall, it was really cool to see a specialty bonus come back into Call of Duty, and it made the perks feel more valuable. My final point is on the good stuff and kind of the bad stuff as well, but we'll bounce back. Perhaps the biggest selling point of this game and the beta itself was Omni movement. The ability to run in any direction and look in a different direction whilst running, if that makes sense. Now, Omni movement is on the good stuff and the bad stuff list because it's an incredibly fun feature. Diving and being able to spin whilst still diving in the same direction, hilarious. It is honestly an amazing feature. Seeing other people do it, super duper funny. Being able to run off a balcony and jump backwards and look backwards and shoot while still falling backwards, great feature. I like it. I really enjoy it. However, it comes with its problems. So we'll get on to that. Okay, so the bad stuff. First of all, the lag. The packet burst. At first, I thought it was just me. And then I looked on Twitter. Everyone and their mother was getting the lag. It was insane. I constantly had packet burst on the left side of my screen. So much so that I started checking my router and my connection, and neither helped. So it had to be something to do with the game, right? It was lagging, especially in weekend 2, every 5 seconds. I had to cut out some parts of videos that I've uploaded just because the lag was insane. I don't exactly know how they're going to fix this lag and the packet burst, but oh boy, it needs fixing because it was annoying. It made playing the game competitively extremely difficult. Let alone, I'm sure it's annoying for just casual playing as well. Second bad stuff, the general stability of the game. Some days, it seriously took me 10, 15, 20 minutes just to load up the game on PC. I don't know if that's the same issue on console. Loading up was ridiculous. Why did it take so long? It also crashed during games quite often. My third bad point would be the spawns. Now, this is, it should be taken with a pinch of salt because spawns on COD have always been meh. But on 3 maps especially, like Babylon, Pit, and Gala, those spawns, yes, I know they're small maps, but oh my god, even on things like Domination, where you can kind of control the spawns, it was just horrific. You could literally stand there and spawn camp endlessly. There are so many clips on it, so go and take a look if you haven't seen, but oh boy, they need to be fixed, otherwise that is going to deter a lot of players. Next would be certain weapon balancing. Where do we start? The Jackal PDW. Pretty overpowered, no? They said they were going to nerf it as well. I don't know if it was really nerfed, but whatever. SMGs, even the C9, certainly seem to have an advantage over a lot of the weapons. Now, I said earlier on in the good stuff that the gunplay was competitive, which it was, but that doesn't mean that there was like 2 or 3 weapons that were ridiculous off the get-go. The Jackal PDW, the C9, extremely overpowered, and I didn't get to play with it much, but on the last weekend, they added the Tanto SMG, which was literally the PDW SMG again, just not nerfed. So maybe some weapon balancing would need to be done before the full game's release. My next point, the flinch on the snipers. Yes, in the last few Call of Duties, the flinch on the sniping has been over the top, let's say, but oh my god, I felt like I was getting hit by a truck every time I got shot. You gotta help the sniping community out, man. I'm not asking for a stable screen as I'm getting shot, but I'm not asking for a truck to drive into me in real life whilst I'm aiming in. It makes sniping a hell of a lot harder, I get it, but like, it kind of makes it unenjoyable, not gonna lie. Granted, a good sniper will be able to get past this, but I was just raising it as someone who uses snipers casually, not as someone who's trying to like sign up to FaZe, do you get what I mean? Now, my next point is, well, how do I say it? Game breaking. There were hackers already. Now, I was lucky enough to not actually run into any, or unless I did and I just didn't notice, but there are endless clips of people hacking on the beta already. Holy crap, it was released for 2 weekends. How has this happened already? And it wasn't even like shy hacking, it wasn't like someone was trying to get away with it. It was like blatant aimbot, seeing through walls, just flicking back and forth between players. Oh boy, if they're in the beta already, I'm worried for the full release of the game. My penultimate point on the bad stuff. Skill-based matchmaking. Where do we begin? We all know skill-based matchmaking has been an issue for the last, million years in Call of Duty, so let's just go over this point quickly. I don't even know if this was in the beta, but it definitely seemed that if you had a good game, it progressively got harder. I don't know if that means skill-based matchmaking was in the beta and it was toned down for new players, or what, but I had, 1 or 2 good games, and then I was in, a FaZe lobby. Chill out, because this is going to really deter a lot of casual players. It kind of restricts who can play together as well, because if you have 2 players, someone of a higher skill and someone of even just a slightly lower skill, they're really going to struggle in lobbies together. I know I played some of the beta with my dad, and he really struggled when playing games with me, because it was just consistent, sweaty lobbies. Maybe that's a fault of me being good at the game, I don't know, but I don't think you should be punished just for getting a few good kills and a good KD. If Call of Duty really wants to tackle skill-based matchmaking, I honestly don't know what to suggest. At least tone it down a little bit just for the casual players, right? Because even on certain days, it deterred me from playing. I had one game where I was just getting absolutely destroyed. Yes, I should get better at the game, but at the same time, if I just want to hop on for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just for a quick game and I get destroyed, I'm good. I'll just turn it off. And my last point would be the bad stuff about Omni Movement. Now, I put Omni Movement on the bad list as well because it kind of creates unplayable gunfights. Does that make sense? If you have one person who doesn't really use Omni Movement, runs up to someone, shoots them, right? If that other person knows how to use Omni Movement and has like a mouse, for example, oh boy, there's clips of people like sliding left and right, jumping up and down, diving, looking up, looking left, looking right, doing all this crazy shit. It's not so much a negative for like the people who would use Omni Movement and the people of higher skill lobbies, but I'm thinking across the general board of Call of Duty players, Omni Movement, if one person knows how to use it, is gonna be an issue, because the shit that you can do with it, the way you can move, dive, slide, the things that you can do whilst in a gunfight just create monsters. Utter monsters. Overall, I think the Black Ops 6 beta was a really good beta. I think there's a lot that they can improve on, but that's in most betas, right? I think there were some really good points, some really good things to take away from both weekends and to look forward to when the game fully releases, but they do need to fix a few things that may especially affect the game, i.e. the lag, the stability of the game, the weapon balancing, the hackers, and of course skill-based matchmaking. But with a few tweaks, I definitely think this can be a really solid Call of Duty game. Now, I didn't want to talk about too much stuff in too much detail because I'm just a casual player. I'm not a qualified person to go through a flipping good and bad list, but I wanted to give my view anyway. So if you guys did go on to enjoy this, be sure to drop a like and subscribe for more Call of Duty Black Ops 6 content, and I'll see you all in the next video. See ya!